Do you find your job boring and depressing? Does nothing in your life excite you anymore? Many people focus on the wrong things in life. It makes them feel like they have no purpose. To find meaning in your life, you must focus on your element. In this book, you will learn about your element. It is what you are born to do. You will learn the 3 processes you must follow to find your element. You will also be introduced to 3 principles that will guide you in your search. You are naturally good at your element. However, you may not know what you are actually good at. Many people struggle to find their talents. This book will show you how to discover your hidden abilities. You will also learn how to discover what you are passionate about. Your element is based on your passions. You will find out how being in your element gives you spiritual energy. This book will teach you the true meaning of happiness. It must always be accompanied by well-being. Finding your element can increase both your happiness and well-being. Humans are social creatures. To be successful, we must be surrounded by people like us. People who share your element are your tribe. You will learn how to find your tribe and the benefits of being in one. So, do you want to find meaning in your life? Or do you want something to make it more interesting? Both of these can be achieved by being in your element. This book will show you the path to discover it. Finding your element. We all have things that we are naturally good at. It could be anything ranging from music to maths. Of all your skills, there will be an activity that you love doing. That is your element. It is what you are naturally destined to do. There are 3 reasons for you to find your element. The first reason is personal. By finding your element, you will understand your capabilities. This understanding will guide you through your life. The second reason is social. Society would improve if people found their element. Finding your element gives you a purpose. It stops you from becoming hopeless, depressed, and suicidal. The third reason is economic. Your element represents your natural talents. In your element, you have very few competitors. You will perform better in a job that fits your element. You will be able to earn more and get promoted easily. Finding your element is like a journey. You must explore 2 worlds while you search for it. The first world is your inner world. This is your mind. It contains your thoughts and feelings. The second world is the outer world. It consists of the people and environment around you. To explore these worlds, you must follow 3 processes. The first process is turning down the noise. This is a technique to explore your inner world. You are surrounded by people every single day. You must fulfill your responsibilities towards those people. You must also meet the expectations they have of you. These can distract you from finding your element. Another distraction is information. The internet has brought the entire world closer to us. Every day we see and hear many things online. You end up focusing on this information instead of yourself. Turning down the noise means reducing the impact of these distractions. One method to do this is through meditation. It clears your mind and makes it easier to focus on yourself. You do not need to do difficult poses or go to the forest to meditate. Here is an example of a simple meditation exercise you can do at home. Sit comfortably with your back and shoulders relaxed. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Hold this breath for a few seconds and let it out slowly. Repeat this process while focusing on the flow of your breath. After a while, switch back to breathing regularly. However, you must keep on focusing on your breath. Random thoughts might come into your mind during this time. Do not try to stop them. Just make sure you pay attention to your breath. Try to do this for 10 minutes. After that, open your eyes and relax for another 10 minutes. The second process is changing your perspective. You have made certain assumptions about yourself. For example, some people think they cannot sing. But these people have never taken a singing class to confirm that. The people around you have made assumptions about you as well. These assumptions affect the way you see yourself. They may be blocking you from finding your element. So as you search for your element, you must challenge these assumptions. One method to change your perspective is by making a vision board. When you read through magazines, certain phrases and images will appeal to you. Cut out these words and images, then paste them on a board. Your vision board will display your passions and hobbies. It shows what you want to do in the future. Keep your vision board in a place where you can look at it regularly. This will change your perspective to focus on your element. Another technique you can use is automatic writing. For this, you must sit down comfortably with a pen and paper. Then decide on a theme you want to write about. One example of a theme is my passions. Then just write anything that comes to your mind. Do not worry about spelling, punctuation, or grammar. Try and write for 5 minutes without stopping. In the end, you will have a document full of your personal thoughts. Read through it and highlight anything you find important. Julie Cameron is an author who uses automatic writing in a different way. Every morning, she wakes up and writes randomly. Her automatic writing does not have a theme. Julie does this to get random thoughts out of her mind. Then she can properly focus on her day. With this type of writing, you must not look at the paper when you are done. The third process to find your element is to give it a try. This is about exploring the outer world. You must meet new people and try new activities. Otherwise, you may never even notice your element. Before you begin these processes, you must know the 3 elemental principles. The principles will guide your search. They will help you face the challenges that come with finding your element. The first principle is that your life is unique. No one has lived a life like you in the past. No one will do so in the future. The second principle is that you create your own life. Creativity and imagination are what separate humans from animals. They are unique skills we use to develop ourselves. You can use your creativity and imagination to shape your life. The third principle is that life is organic. This means that nothing in your life is predictable. Our life is built based on how we respond to different circumstances every day. The best example of this is the life of David Ogilvy. He is known as the father of advertising. However, David did not spend his entire life as a salesperson. He first started as a chef in Paris. His sales career began when he started selling cooking stoves in Scotland. While he was selling stoves, David wrote a sales manual. This would later become popular as the best sales manual ever written. After his sales manual was published, David was hired by an advertising agency in London. Following his success there, he moved to America to work for a survey organization. During World War II, David joined the British intelligence services. When the war ended, he became a farmer. For 10 years, David worked in a farming community on America's East Coast. After that, he came back to New York and joined the Mather Advertising Agency. In 20 years, David Ogilvy turned it into the world's leading advertising agency. Your life could also take an organic path like David's. But this does not mean that you should not have a plan. Having long-term goals can help you focus on what is important. Planning is also required to reach your short-term goals successfully. What are you good at? Your element is decided by your aptitudes and abilities. Aptitudes are the natural talents you are born with. These aptitudes must then be developed into abilities. Abilities require education and practice. Derek is a child with an aptitude for handling machinery. When he was 10, he would break apart motorcycle engines to see how they work. He would then try to put the engines back together. After a few months, he was repairing his brother's motorcycles. With time, Derek began working on car engines as well. He could fix many vehicles by the age of 13. Derek used his aptitude to develop the ability to fix engines. But his abilities are still limited by his experience. For example, Derek still cannot fix an aeroplane engine. He has to learn about them and practice first. Some people find their aptitudes early on in life, but there are many people who never find their aptitudes. Here is a simple exercise you can use to discover your aptitudes. First, take a large piece of paper. On this paper, write down all the activities you do regularly. Now, divide these activities into categories. Examples of categories are work, hobbies, and household chores. You must select categories that make sense to you. Now, think of the aptitudes you may have for each of these categories. For example, you work as an accountant. The aptitude related to that is mathematics. Let's say you also paint as a hobby. The aptitudes related to that are creativity and artistic talent. List these aptitudes on a different paper. Now, rank them based on how good you are at them. For this, you can use 3 groups: good, average, and not so good. In the end, review your groups. Make sure that the rankings are accurate. Once you have completed this, look at the good aptitudes. These are the things you should be focusing on. You can develop your abilities easily in those areas. However, this test does not reveal the aptitudes you have not discovered yet. One solution to that problem is to take aptitude tests. These tests determine your aptitudes and suggest which abilities you should develop. There are plenty of these available online. You must be careful with online tests though. Often they write broad statements, and a part of it will appeal to you. That might make you believe the entire result is true. This is known as the Forer effect. A good example of this is when author Ken Robinson took an aptitude test. He took this test along with his son. The test had 2 3-hour sessions. Their memory, vocabulary, arithmetic, and time management skills were tested. Some parts of the results were very accurate. It showed that Ken had better coordination than his son. They both knew this was true. The test also showed that his son had a better musical sense than Ken. Now, someone who did not know their element would think all the results were right. But Ken knew that his element was public speaking. The test said that his aptitudes were better for interior design. This shows how aptitude tests can easily lead you away from your element. You must also keep in mind that your element can change with time. You have many aptitudes. With time, the aptitudes that you like and dislike will change. Your aptitudes may also move you between different fields. Take the example of Elizabeth. She was a talented painter as a child. This means that she had an aptitude for creativity. One day, she entered a costume designing competition. Her aptitude allowed her to win it. She went on to win this competition every time she participated. As an adult, Elizabeth now works as a costume designer. Elizabeth's element changed from painting to costume designing. However, she focused on the same aptitude. What do you love? Aptitude is not the only thing that defines your element. Your element must also be something you are passionate about. Passion is a form of love. It gives you power through positive spiritual energy. But what is spiritual energy? To understand this, you must first look at physical energy. Your body's energy is affected by your lifestyle. Certain types of food and medicine can decrease your energy. Having a good night's sleep can increase your physical energy. Spiritual energy works the same way. For example, Ian is a drummer in a rock band. He could play all day and come home tired. However, Ian feels happy and content. He is full of spiritual energy. Ian is passionate about music, but he also runs his own business, which is his main source of income. Even after a long day at work, Ian goes straight to his studio for drum practice. In the same way, your element will give you spiritual energy. Passion comes in many shapes and forms. Ken Robinson asked this question on Twitter to see what people thought. Do you know someone who has a job you couldn't bear? One woman said she had a friend who loved her job of cleaning sewers. This is a job that most of us would hate. Another example is teaching. Some people hate teaching because it is a tiring job. But teachers love to educate children. Randy Parsons was a talented guitarist as a child. His friends and family told him he could be a rock star. However, Randy did not see a future for himself in music. When he turned 18, he sold his guitars and joined the military. After leaving the military, Randy joined the police. He had a natural aptitude for the job. Randy's superiors liked working with him. He got promotions regularly. However, Randy did not feel satisfied. He felt empty while doing his job. One day, Randy was inspired to go back to music. But this time, he wanted to build guitars. Randy went to the hardware store and bought some tools. For 2 years, he worked in his basement, learning to build guitars. In those 2 years, Randy did not complete a single guitar. Then he met a famous guitar maker named Bose. Bose liked Randy's passion. He began teaching Randy the art of making guitars. Randy's experience with playing guitars helped him understand Bose's instructions. After spending a year with Bose, Randy opened his own store. His business slowly grew over the years. Now his store, Parsons Guitars, is famous worldwide. Randy's clients include many famous rock guitarists just like Randy. You might struggle to find your passion at first. Some people wonder if they even have a passion. People without passions are very rare. They generally have mental conditions like psychopathy or sociopathy. Some people love things that they are not good at. This is usually not a problem. In many cases, passion can be more powerful than aptitude. This is because your passion motivates you to work hard. Passion can also make you more creative. Many people are concerned about when they will find their element. The best way to describe it is finding your element is like falling in love. It will transform your life. You will feel a strange sense of satisfaction and purpose. To find your passions, you must search for them. You can use an exercise similar to the one used to find your aptitudes. Again, list out all the activities you do. Then divide them into categories. Next, divide your categories into 3 new groups. These groups are things you enjoy, things you don't mind doing, and things you do not enjoy. Again, focus on the first group. These are the things you are most likely passionate about. There are a few questions you can ask yourself to clarify your passions further. What exactly do you love about the things you enjoy? Are there different ways to do the activities you love? What about the things you do not enjoy? How could those be made more enjoyable? What makes you happy? If you ask people what they want in life, they will say happiness. Some people will talk about being successful at their job or having a happy family. But they want these things because it will make them happy. Unfortunately, very few people are truly happy these days. People are wealthier than at any point in history. Technology has made our lives much easier, but levels of depression and suicide have never been higher. One reason for this is that people are looking for happiness in the wrong places. Most of us think that money brings happiness, but this is not true. A study was conducted among people in the US who had more than $10 million. The majority of them said that money creates more problems than it solves. But this raises a question. What is happiness? How can it be increased? Sonia Lyubomirsky, a psychologist, says that happiness is not a brief emotion. Happiness is a lasting sense that your life is good. Think of an instance when you were happy. Maybe it was when you won an award, or perhaps you felt happy when you won an online game. These feelings of happiness go away quickly. A true, long-lasting sense of happiness can only be found by being in your element. Yasmin Hello was a professional basketball player. She had been playing with the Egyptian national team for over a decade. She was also a very skilled biomedical engineer. At one point, Yasmin had a very successful career in this field. Both basketball and biomedical engineering made Yasmin happy. She loved winning games and building new machines. These pursuits did not give Yasmin a long-lasting sense of happiness. However, she was satisfied with her life. One day, 3 poor children asked Yasmin for some money. When she gave them the money, they asked for more. Yasmin did not have any more money left to spare, so she promised to give them more the next day. This incident inspired Yasmin. Her neighborhood was full of people suffering from poverty. However, her career had distracted her from these issues. Suddenly, she realized how lucky she was. Her parents had given her good education and a comfortable life. She felt sorry for the children who had to beg for money in the streets. This led Yasmin to create a charity called the Talita Foundation. Her goal was to educate poor children. The foundation started paying children's school fees. Yasmin also developed free character building programs and art classes. Yasmin finally found her element working with the Talita Foundation. Even when she was at the engineering firm, she would think of helping more kids. After 3 months with the foundation, Yasmin quit her job. She now focuses on the charity full-time. She spends her days with a deep sense of fulfillment and joy. Focusing on just happiness is not enough. Many activities can make you happy in one part of your life. However, you could still be miserable in general. Instead, you should view happiness as a part of your well-being. Well-being can be divided into 5 categories. Performing badly in even one of these categories can have a negative impact. The first category is your career well-being. This is fulfilled when you love what you do every day. The second category is social well-being. It is when you have strong and loving relationships. The third category is financial well-being. That means having control over your economic situation. The fourth category is your physical well-being. This is when you are in good health. The fifth category is community well-being. This is fulfilled when you are loved and respected by the people around you. True happiness can be found when you do well in all 5 categories. Many people argue that their happiness is beyond their control. But this is not true. 3 factors affect your happiness. They are your circumstances, biology, and behavior. Out of these 3, your behavior affects 40% of your happiness. Your behavior is what you choose to do and feel. Gretchen Rubin is an author who has studied happiness for years. She says that the key to being happy is to think that you are happy. This mindset develops within you when you find your element. Another key to being happy is getting over yourself. That means looking at others' needs in addition to your own. This is very clear in Yasmin Hello's story. You must keep in mind that being in your element does not guarantee permanent happiness. You can still have bad days dealing with difficult people or situations. However, your chances of being happy will increase if you are in your element. Where's your tribe? Every person in this world is unique, but our passions and interests are not. Your element is not something unique to you. There are many others who share the same element. These people are your tribe. Being in your element involves fitting in with your tribe. You should appreciate the culture shared by other people in your element. Imagine that you are passionate about something, but you dislike the culture surrounding it. This activity is probably not your element. Take the example of John. As a child, he was a very talented football player. He even got the opportunity to become a professional player. However, John did not like the culture of professional athletes. Instead, John found happiness in coaching and playing with casual teams. But why are tribes so important to being in your element? It is because you receive 4 benefits from your tribe. They are affirmation, guidance, collaboration, and inspiration. You need these 4 things to be successful at what you do. Affirmation is a feeling of support. When you have a tribe, you feel like your passions are normal. Humans require other humans to grow. Having a tribe increases your potential to improve. Guidance means receiving instructions and mentoring. It is very difficult to learn things on your own. Often, you need someone to guide and teach you. Experienced members of your tribe can help you with this. Collaboration means working together. Members of tribes often do this so they can learn from each other. By sharing knowledge, the entire tribe improves in their element. Collaboration also helps you to find new friends and do new projects. Inspiration means being motivated to improve. Often, there will be very successful members of your tribe. Knowing their stories can motivate you to work harder. It gives you a goal to achieve in the future. Without your tribe, you would not know about these inspirational people. The Make magazine is targeted at the tribe of inventors and tinkerers. These are the people who build new machines and modify existing ones. They are generally very lonely and isolated people. But Make magazine gave them the opportunity to find a tribe. Dale Doherty is the founder of Make. When he launched the magazine, it became successful very quickly. Make featured stories about new gadgets and modifications. They showed that many people were interested in these topics. This immediately provided affirmation to the inventors who read it. With time, Make became a leading voice of the Maker movement. The Maker movement is a tribe that loves to experiment with machines. The information in Make provided guidance to many new inventors. As the Maker movement grew, they created the Maker Fair. This was like a festival where inventors could get together. They show off their new inventions at the Maker Fair. Many inventors collaborate to make bigger and more complex machines for the event. In 2011, the California Maker Fair had over 70,000 participants. Many of them were kids or new inventors. The creations displayed at the fair showed them what they could do. Such events serve as an inspiration for young people just joining the tribe. Sometimes, finding a tribe can help you discover your element. You can use a simple exercise for this. Just take some time and think about what kind of tribe you would like to be with. Ask yourself the following questions. What do you find interesting in people? What kind of personality types do you associate with? What matters to you in a tribe? Are you focusing more on the people or on what they do? These questions can lead you to a certain tribe. Their element may be the same as yours. In the past, people used to struggle to find their tribes. However, the internet has made that much easier for us. All it takes is a simple Google search to find a tribe that shares your passions. You can also find people on social media who have the same passions as yours. Conclusion. First, you learned why you should find your element. You will do this for personal, social, and economic reasons. There are 3 processes to find your element. They are turning down the noise, changing your perspective, and giving it a try. You must remember 3 principles as you search for your element. Keep in mind that your life is unique and organic. You create your own life. Second, you learned about your aptitudes and abilities. Your aptitudes are things you are naturally good at. Your element is decided by your aptitudes. Aptitudes can help you develop many abilities. So your element can change as you grow. Third, you learn that passion affects your element as well. Passion is a type of love that increases your spiritual energy. Passion is the most important factor for your element. It can even be more powerful than your aptitudes. Fourth, you learn how being in your element makes you happy. Your element gives you a long-lasting sense of purpose and joy. It also improves your well-being. There are 5 types of well-being you should seek. They are career well-being, social well-being, financial well-being, physical well-being, and community well-being. Finally, you learned about the importance of finding your tribe. Your tribe is a group of people who share your interests and passions. They will provide you with affirmation, guidance, collaboration, and inspiration. You might be feeling that your life is meaningless. You may think that it is just a cycle of doing your duties and going back to sleep. This means that you are not doing what you were born to do. By finding your element, you can discover your purpose. It will bring you true happiness and fulfillment in your life.